إليه راجعون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون ولا ما نشي والله ولا ما نشي.
Suicide bomb attack on mosques kills many in Maiduguri. Kaduna holiday travelers stranded as vehicles appear to be fewer than the number of passengers at motor parks. Federal government files 16-count charges against former Attorney General Abubakar Malami and his son Abdul Aziz. Away from Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau junta frees 6 opposition figures held since the coup in that country. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Scores of worshippers have been reported killed following an explosion at the Gomborun Jumu'at Mosque in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Eyewitnesses said the incident occurred during the Maghrib congregational prayer when an attacker gained access to the mosque and triggered an explosive device. One of the survivors explained that the explosion happened during the first rakat of the prayer, resulting in multiple fatalities and injuries. Emergency responders were seen evacuating victims to nearby hospitals, while security operatives cordoned off the area. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. However, there are suspicions that the Boko Haram insurgent group may have carried out similar attacks in parts of the region in recent months may be responsible. Authorities are yet to release an official casualty figure as investigations continue.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. 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 Wannan mahallin shi a cikin masallaci ne? Kai, Allah ya gafarta. Shikenan karibe.
Media Trust Northeast Bureau Chief Hamisu Matazu is standing by to give us an update on this incident. Hamisu, thank you for joining us. What exactly happened and what are the total fatalities now? Do we know any number?
Good evening. In terms of total, the casualty figure is, I can say, is very difficult to say because the victims were taken to 2 different places. Some of them were taken to University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Others were taken to Borno State Specialist Hospital. And what I can say is that emergency workers have been up and doing in all the hospitals visited. Though at the University of Maiduguri General Hospital, already the resident doctors were on strike, but I can see that they mobilized health workers who came to attend to the injured. But people, when I was at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, I saw about 2 corpses coming out from where the emergency workers are working on the people. And when I came to the specialist hospital, I also saw a corpse coming out from the place, and they were brought alive in the hospital. And when I interviewed the NEMA, I think one of the officials of NEMA, who is in charge of Yobe and Borno, Siraj Garba, he made mention that at the specialist hospital there were about 21 victims there, and he confirmed to me that 1 person died in the hospital, and already at the mosque there were 3 corpses left there for the family to take care of them. Then from the eyewitness account and those who have been in the mosque when the incident happened, they confirmed to me that it was a suicide bomber that came in They described the man as a young man, looking very dirty and with dreaded hair coming in. And some of them saw him, but before they could do anything, he detonated the bomb. So this is the update I can see for now. And security operatives have condoned the area where the incident happened. And I think even at the hospitals, I saw even the military and police were there controlling the crowd, because families of the victims and their loved ones have been trooping in to see their condition.
Yeah, is there any statement from the state government or the police command in Borno on the incident?
Not for now, but maybe I will check from my WhatsApp to see maybe if they drop anything. But for the time being, I could not see any of it coming in.
Please keep us posted. Thank you, Hamisu Matazu, Northeast Bureau Chief of Trust Group. Thank you for this insight.
Thank you.
Moving on, after days of heavy traffic on the Abuja-Lokoja highway, movement has finally eased. But beyond official assurances, Trust TV returned to the highway to observe the return to normalcy, so to say. Neil Sampson was there and now reports.
Just 2 days ago, this road was a picture of anger and exhaustion. Vehicles stuck for hours, passengers stranded, drivers unsure of when help would come. Today, the scene is gone. When we revisited the Abuja-Lokoja corridor, traffic was moving, slowly in some spots, but moving. Along the Abuja-Kogi axis, cars and buses flowed freely, despite potholes and ongoing construction that forced drivers to occasionally move against traffic. Security presence was also heavier. About 39 kilometers to Lokoja, where vehicles once crawled for hours, movement was smooth. At Ozi Village and Opaka, once completely blocked by trucks and articulated vehicles, the road had opened up. The same story played out in Kotokorefe and all the way to Muritala Bridge. Areas that were once unreachable are now busy again. The residents and motorists going about their day. Many are still asking how the road cleared so quickly.
Now, you safety people, I don't conquer around, and Soja, I don't conquer around. Except from Muritala Bridge down to Jigu.
So as from yesterday, the road has been free from traffic and it's motorable for motorists.
Okay, so who are those who are involved in clearing?
Of course, the community people tried their best, but they couldn't get it right until the government now passes order from above. Why I say they pass order from above, the road safety that have been dormant for over decades suddenly struck into action. Are you getting it? They start bringing their high-up that ordinarily will be stationed in their office without doing nothing. Some vehicles that were stationed on the road for over 2-3 weeks, we are now taking off the road. And that is where we begin to know that government are swinging into action. And these government themselves are reluctant. They could not swing into action until some of the government operatives start following the alternative road called Tawari and Osuku, where bandits are said to be hiding out there. So even at that road again, there's a serious hold up. You have to sleep a night or two before you could scale it. Actually, the hold up began from on Thursday last week.
So as the thing happened,
Which day happened?
last week on Friday be that, now the thing happened. But it cost myself, I all those three are there. Now they cost them because they go see they won't overtake themselves. Some go fall and you get low. You say one climb, how you human being go climb this road like this, that new one. What they do now, say one climb out, you load. Go up, it fall. You say one come down again, it fall, almost fall. If I don't lie for you.
So
now,
when they come clear now?
see, it's not the day started, now the thing clear, now the road clear.
Who should be clear now? Who should be there?
All those soldiers, road safety, police, bros, any first man take here. We join hand myself, we myself. Even myself, I join hand myself. Sorry, sir. Even myself, I join hand for secretariat here. I give them their way, make they enter. So that maybe one way. Money town is not 8 to 9. And they think clear, small.
This road carries thousands of vehicles daily and becomes a pressure point during festive travel. While traffic has eased for now, road users say lasting repairs are long overdue to prevent a repeat of the suffering witnessed in recent days. Wow, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still on the festive season, travelers in Kaduna are struggling to reach their destinations at motor parks across the city. Passengers have been left stranded as the number of vehicles appear to be or rather fewer than the number of passengers available. Many describe the situation as stressful, with long waits and overcrowding adding to the holiday rush. Trust TV's Bello Musa reports from the television garage in Kaduna.
Planning is often key to a smooth Christmas celebration, but for many travelers at the television garage in Kaduna, the journey has been anything but easy. Frustration was evident among passengers, including Alheri and John Alkali, who traveled from Kano to Wuye in Jaba local government. They expressed disappointment over the long delays and overcrowding at the park.
Well, since morning from Kano, I reached around 9. Up to now, I never see if I could go Wuye. That is my problem. All the money we get, we don't chop to food for the left finish. Now the thing where the water sees children and they cry for hungry. No car. That is our problem now. No car. From Kano to here. I've reached here, but now to seek out the problem.
Other stranded passengers describe the situation as challenging, yet remain hopeful of reaching their destinations.
We are just here, as you can see, the park is filled up and there is no car on ground. There is no car in the park. We were here since morning itself. No car.
Things are going smoothly in the park, though we have seen an influx of passengers. Beyond transportation challenges, the economic impact is being felt by roadside traders. Yao Hassan, an elderly man who has sold Christmas trees and hearts for years, lamented the low patronage this festive season. Unlike before, patronage is low this festive season. At this time last year, the market would be full of customers. We sold many Christmas trees then, but this year, people are not buying. At the bustling Sheikh Abubakar Gumi market in Kaduna, buyers and traders expressed disappointment over low patronage and rising commodity prices.
The way they're telling me like it's expensive. Yeah, no, I don't have any Christmas clothes yet.
We thank God, but commodities are more expensive than last year and patronage remains low, though some people are still coming to buy. We thank God, but I haven't sold any chickens today. Because of the high cost of new clothes, some parents have turned to buying used clothes, popularly called okrika or gwanjo in Hausa, for their Christmas celebration. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Meanwhile, the Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has lauded Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri for granting clemency to Sunday Jackson, a Christian farmer previously sentenced to death following a violent farm attack. In a Christmas message, the Northern CAN described the earlier conviction as a miscarriage of justice and said the governor's intervention has restored public confidence in fairness and the rule of law. The pardon sparked celebrations across Yola, with residents taking to the streets in jubilation. The CAN also urged Nigerian leaders to use the festive season as a time for national renewal, justice and lasting security, while commending security agencies for their efforts against terrorism, banditry and kidnapping. Northern Khan called on all leaders to uphold justice, equity, and the rule of law, and encourage citizens to remain law-abiding and committed to peaceful coexistence. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has renewed his pledge to safeguard religious freedom across Nigeria, assuring citizens that his administration is committed to protecting people of all faiths from violence and discrimination. In his 2025 Christmas goodwill message, the president stressed that Nigerians have the right to live peacefully, practice their faith freely, and pursue their goals without fear. He emphasized that every citizen, regardless of religion or ethnicity, deserves safety, dignity, and equal protection under the law. Since taking office in 2023, President Tinubu said his government has worked to ensure national security, unity, and stability. Values, he says, are grounded in faith in God and loyalty to the Constitution. President Tinubu also revealed that he has consulted leaders of Nigeria's main religious groups to address intolerance and foster peaceful coexistence. Extending Christmas greetings to Christians in Nigeria and the world, the president prayed for lasting peace and urged Nigerians to reflect on the teachings of Jesus Christ, whom he described as the Prince of Peace. He also reminded citizens traveling during the festive period to stay patient, law-abiding, and safe on the roads. The long-running tension between the Bachama and Chobo communities in Lamurde, a local government area of Adamawa State, is easing, following a peace accord brokered by Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri. As a confidence measure, the Adamawa State government has relaxed the 24-hour curfew earlier imposed on Lamurde. Movement is now allowed from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo now reports on the situation.
Smiles, handshakes, and open conversations filled the banquet hall at the government house in Yola. It marked a clear shift in the Adamawa State government to push the months of conflict between the Bachama and Chobo-speaking communities of Lamurde local government area. The dispute rooted in land ownership had led to death, destruction of property, and shutdown of daily life, forcing the government to impose a round-the-clock curfew. Governor Umaru Fintiri presided over the signing of the peace agreement by leaders of both communities, signaling a fresh attempt to turn the page.
Thank you. Shake hands. Thank you. We're very grateful.
Declaring no victor, no vanquished, Governor Fintiri announced the easing of the curfew, permitting movement between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. each day. He praised both sides for choosing dialogue, admitting the crisis weighed heavily on him, while expressing hope that calm has returned to Lamurde.
If I tell you I have not been losing sleep because of the disagreement, I'm not saying the truth. Because I disrespect it, I don't respect it, but I give glory to God that we're able to overcome it.
The Vice Chairman of the Adamawa State Peace Commission, Dr. Jamila Suleiman, said sustained engagement with both communities help rebuild trust and commitment to peace.
We were very happy when they made commitments to peace. They were ready to stop and drop the arms. They were ready to pursue a course of peace, peace building. They were ready to stop all the social media incitement and songs that were inciting violence.
Leaders of the Bachama Chobo communities pledged to respect the agreement, bringing relief to residents after months of violence that disrupted trade and social life.
We stand to ensure that the peace is desired in Adamawa State, and that peace will be achieved by the grace of God.
Let's support the Chobo and our brothers, our uncles, our nephews, our nieces, our friends. We have all our friends that are going to live with us.
Top government officials and security commanders witnessed the accord underlining a shared resolve to keep peace in Lamurde and prevent a return to violence. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Parents and market officials in Ukur community, Jos South local government area of Plateau State, are demanding justice following shooting of traders by personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC. The incident left one person dead and several others injured. The parents described the actions of the NSCDC as inhuman and have called on relevant authorities, including the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Ahmed Audi, to investigate the matter and ensure justice for the victims. Trust TV's Ado Musa now reports.
Trust TV gathered that the shooting followed a disagreement between a motorcyclist and NSCDC personnel, during which bullets were fired, hitting several people, including the deceased. The NSCDC spokesperson confirmed that only one person was hit, explaining that the officer fired in self-defense to protect himself and his colleague. Parents and sympathizers expressed concern over the security situation, saying they are still in the dark about the circumstances that led to the tragic incident.
Ina zaune a gurin sana'ata bullet ya zo ya same ni. Ya samu ɗana.
I am one of those injured by the bullets. This is injustice because I don't know why they fired the gun. We were innocent going about our lawful business when the bullet hit me, my son, and other people in the market. Eventually, my son died. We are calling on the federal government, state and local government to investigate the incident and ensure justice for us. It is the responsibility of the government to protect us irrespective of our status. The market was peaceful when the incident occurred. There wasn't any problem until the gun was fired. The trouble began between the Okada rider and the security personnel. We are calling on the relevant authorities to ensure justice for us. We want the government to arrest the personnel and punish him because his action was unprofessional. The community has vowed to take legal action if the officer is not brought to justice.
Definitely. We have already spoken as a community. After this, we are going to sit in a meeting to decide on the next line of action. But let me say it here. We are going to take the proper legal steps to ensure that whoever has a hand in this, no matter how highly placed that person is, we are going to follow it up. Even if it is going to court against the agency, we will do so. We will do so as a community. We will definitely do so. We are not going to let this one go by.
The remains of Hamza Tahir has been laid to rest, but the incident has left tension in the area. Community leaders are calling on youth to remain calm, not to take the law into their own hands, and are urging relevant authorities to act swiftly to ensure justice is served. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The federal government has filed 16 alleged money laundering charges to the tune of 1,014 million naira against a former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, and his son, Abdul Aziz Abubakar Malami, before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Also listed as a co-defendant in the case is Hajia Bashir Asabi. According to the charges, the government is accusing Abubakar Malami, his son Abdulaziz, and others of being involved in the laundering and concealment of 1,014,848,500 naira, allegedly traced to a commercial bank. In the 16 charges, the Nigerian government alleged that between July 2022 and June 2025, within Abuja and the jurisdiction of the court, the defendants procured Metropolitan Auto Tech Limited to conceal the unlawful origin of the money. The charge alleges in part that defendants used the company as a front to conceal the origin and movement of the funds, an act the government says constitutes money laundering under the Nigerian law. The alleged offense is said to be contrary to Section 21C of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 and punishable under Section 18 sub 3 of the same act. The 16 charges reveal how Abubakar Malami SAN allegedly engaged Metropolitan Auto Tech Limited to launder funds. To politics now. More than 27 years after its formation, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, appear to be descending from its powerful position or to becoming a political machine and then now being weakened as an opposition. Once in control of 27 state governments, the party now governs just 4 states. From dominance in the early years of the Fourth Republic to deepening internal fractures, the PDP's decline has been driven largely by leadership battles and unresolved power struggles. Ibrahim Ismail examines how internal crisis is reshaping the journey of the PDP.
The People's Democratic Party (PDP) was formed in August 1998 and quickly emerged as Nigeria's dominant political force. In the 1999 general elections, the party swept into power, controlling 21 of the 36 states. By the 2003 elections, the PDP expanded its grip, commanding 27 governors nationwide.
This lack of politics through military rule from 1984 up to 1998 made the politicians to be a bit more careful, not wanting to be in the opposition, wanting to be part of the government after being outside the government for a very long period of time. So PDP emerged as a party with tremendous advantage in 1998. And in fact, this after the 1999 presidential election, gubernatorial, that some of the top leaders of the party became intoxicated politically.
The first major crack appeared in 2005, following a bitter fallout between President Olusegun Obasanjo and his vice president, Atiku Abubakar. The dispute, rooted in Atiku's opposition to Obasanjo's third-term ambition, triggered a controversial internal re-registration exercise. Though the PDP was not formally deregistered by INEC, the process effectively sidelined Atiku and his supporters, forcing him to defect to the Action Congress ahead of the 2007 presidential election. Between 2007 and 2009, the PDP regained strength as opposition governors defected to the ruling party, pushing its control to a peak of 31 states. Buoyed by this dominance, party leaders grew confident. In 2008, the national chairman Vincent Ogbulafo famously declared that the PDP would rule Nigeria for 60 years. But the peak was short-lived.
Nobody will touch them. And unfortunately for them, and they saw it before their own eyes, PDP collapsed, literally, when the APC was formed and there was this 2015 election. And by 2012, 2013, 2014, crisis had been brewing over the presidential candidature of President Jonathan after the death of Umaru for the 2011 election.
From 2011 to 2015, waves of defections weakened the party. The 2015 elections, which brought Muhammadu Buhari to power, marked a major collapse. The PDP was reduced to just 12 governors. Internal divisions worsened between 2019 and 2023 as leadership tussles among top figures deepened mistrust and factionalism. The 2023 elections pushed the party to the brink. A breakdown in the zoning arrangement and a bitter rivalry between Atiku Abubakar and Nyesom Wike split the party. Two camps emerged: the official structure backing Atiku and the rebel integrity group known as the G5 governors. The crisis later forced Atiku Abubakar to defect to the African Democratic Congress (ADC), while Wuye retained strong influence within the PDP as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. By 2025, the division had hardened. The party split into two rival factions, each claiming legitimacy. One faction is led by Kabiru Turaki, backed by the PDP Governors Forum under Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad. The other faction, led by Abdurrahman, is supported by Yesom Wuye.
Well, it means the political life of PDP has come to an end when its own when people elected on its own platform just move to other parties freely without any sanction, without any problem. It means the party has not been able to hold itself.
From a peak of 31 governors, the PDP now controls just 4 states, its weakest position since 1998, and the crisis has deepened. INEC's decision not to recognize the Tanimu Turaki-led faction has thrown the party into fresh confusion, undercutting hopes that last week's reconciliation meeting would calm tensions. Instead, uncertainty is now the norm. With no clear leadership recognized by the electoral umpire, the PDP faces legal risk, organizational paralysis, and growing loss of public confidence. The question is no longer academic. Can the PDP still regroup and compete nationally? Or has years of internal warfare pushed the party beyond recovery? Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Thank you, Ibrahim. The Kano State House of Assembly has been thrown into mourning following the death of 2 members of the State Assembly on Wednesday. The lawmakers are Honorable Aminu Saad Ungogo, who represented Ungogo constituency, and Honorable Sarki Aliyu Danije, who represented Kano Minnesota constituency. The death of Honorable Ungogo was first announced by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Information, Ibrahim Adam, through a post on his verified Facebook page. Barely an hour later, the passing of Honorable Danije was confirmed by the Director of Media at the Kano Government House, Sanusi Bature Dawakintufa. The near simultaneous deaths shocked colleagues, government officials, and residents, with condolences pouring in from across the state. As at press time, details surrounding the circumstances of their deaths remain unclear, while funeral arrangements are yet to be announced. A Wuye bridge accident involving a Peugeot 206 and an unidentified man caused heavy traffic on Wednesday morning in the Federal Capital Territory. Witnesses, including fishermen at the scene, said the crash occurred around 11:30 in the morning, with the victim sustaining serious injuries. Federal road safety officials moved him to nearby hospital for treatment. Traffic built up on the bridge as responders handled the scene.
We were seated here when the car fell, but the driver fell before the car. That was when we went to his rescue. We never knew that he was still alive, not until we brought him out of the water. The rescue officials have been here since, but the ambulance is yet to be here. We are also thinking of taking him up the bridge to use public transport to take him to the hospital. Then the family can be contacted. He has been here for almost an hour.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Christmas shopping slows in Maiduguri despite food price drop. We have more news. Don't go away. Welcome back to News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our earlier bulletin and headlines. Suicide bomb attack on mosques kills many in Maiduguri. And Kaduna holiday travelers stranded as vehicles appear to be shorter than the number of passengers. Moving on now, the House of Representatives Committee investigating alleged discrepancies in Nigeria's gazetted tax laws has assured that it will submit its report as soon as its work is concluded. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Mukhtar Betara gave the assurance on Wednesday following the panel's inaugural meeting in Abuja. The 7-member committee was constituted after a lawmaker from Sokoto State, Abdul Samad Dasuki, raised concerns over inconsistencies between tax laws passed by the National Assembly and the versions later gazetted and circulated. Honorable Dasuki alleged that some provisions in the gazetted laws differed from what lawmakers approved, warning that such changes could undermine legislative procedure and the rule of law. In a statement, Honorable Betara said the committee is united and committed to conducting a transparent and thorough investigation. The House of Representatives says the probe will help protect the integrity of Nigeria's legislative process and ensure only duly passed laws are implemented. Operation Enduring Peace says its troops have been attacked in Vom community just south local government area of Plateau State, injuring one officer and damaging an operational vehicle. The Joint Task Force says the incident occurred on Wednesday as personnel of 3 divisions were returning to base after a successful intelligence-led operation that led to the arrest of 3 suspected gun runners and the recovery of illegal arms and ammunition. According to the operations spokesperson, Major Samson Zakom, some youths and women blocked the road, fired at the troops, and pelted security vehicles with stones. He revealed that the situation was swiftly brought under control while the suspects and recovered items remain in custody for further investigation. The task force has warned against obstructing security operations and reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding lives and property in Plateau State. Meanwhile, Maiduguri residents have called for more reduction in prices of food items across the country as the Christmas celebration draws near. Christmas shopping have started and sellers in Maiduguri are complaining of low patronage attributed to economic status of the country. Trust TV's Bitrus Kuriti has more.
Traders offer mixed reports. Some say sales are better than last year, while others lament low customer turnout. Many appeal to the government to reduce the cost of fertilizers, arguing that high production costs still impact food prices despite the current drop.
But now things can't dey low small, but no money for buying something. We dey buy goods, we know they see people where they buy because of lack of money. And some people say they never pay them up to now. They never come market. See us today, nobody for market, nobody where they pass. So let government to help us.
And they get customer now. I've been that 5 minutes in time you come, if you see customers here, full. So you get the one way go up, you get the one way go down. Like Mangina. Mangista is 1,900. Royco 1,300. Tomato 1,800. Then spices. I have rosemary.
Customers say food prices have declined but hope for even lower rates.
50% na price na last year. Kusan ya sauka this year. The price din da muke sayarwa 130.
A bag of rice now goes for 55,000 naira. Foreign bag 60,000 naira, down from 80 to 100,000 naira. Beans were 270,000 naira, now 90,000 naira. In the evening, you can see more people, but the morning turnout is low. Chicken is cheap now. Big ones, 10,000 naira. Chicks, 4,500. Broilers, 5,000 naira. Prices have dropped by 1,000 naira, which makes them affordable.
The price of things is not like last year. Price of the things now has come down, but we need the thing to come down again, so that everybody can afford it without any headache. You know, rice is coming down, other maize is coming down, but
Up to now, urea is still 60 something. So if something can come down, let it come on. But farm produce come down, the other things like urea, fertilizer, and other things, up to now is still high.
Dai kusan kowanne ya dan soka sai dai kayan sawa ba wanda ya dan soka da.
The prices of food items have dropped, but clothing costs have skyrocketed. We hope that after Christmas, prices for goods and services will fall even further. As Christmas nears, many Maiduguri residents continue to weigh affordability against festive demands, highlighting the ongoing economic challenges in the region. Petros Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Meanwhile, Christians in Nigeria are set to join the faithful across the globe to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, despite prevailing economic hardships. In Bauchi State, residents speak to Trust TV on the importance of living in peace and harmony with one another. Trust TV's Adamawa now reports.
As Christians prepare for the 2025 Christmas celebration, beneficiaries receiving food items from the Bauchi State government have expressed joy despite the challenges they encountered during the last wet farming season. They say they are grateful to God for life and for the support received at a time of economic difficulty.
This support and the challenge that we had in farming, raining issue, financial issue to buy fertilizer, it was also a very big challenge. Actually, it will really augment a lot of challenges in the needs in the family. You know, today the major food is rice. So when rice is not at home, there is no home. There is no peace. There will be a lot of challenges. So with the present situation, we really appreciate the government.
He has been proactive. In whatever we ask, he attends to our needs. And that is why you are seeing what you are seeing today. And you see from the faces of the beneficiaries, you can see a kind of joy and happiness for how he has relieved them.
God noticed they are younger ones and they will give it to them. And that is our joy. As we get it, we will be very glad and joyful. And the Lord Almighty will continue blessing them so that they will bless us. And anytime the door has been opened, we will not be neglected and to help others. That is our demand for this hour. And we give God the glory.
I thank for the governor for providing the rice for us so that we are going to spend our Christmas with it. And also the meat, I have get my chicken because I really chicken. So my chicken as big, then I will cut it for my grandchildren because all my children, they have grown up.
We strive to provide for the children, and although times are very hard, God has not abandoned us. What the governor did for us is unprecedented. We are truly grateful to God.
The beneficiaries also commended the distribution committee for its transparency and orderly conduct throughout the exercise. This year's distribution includes bag of rice, cows, and vegetable oil shared among Christian groups and individuals across the state. Meanwhile, the Bauchi State Police Command has assured residents of adequate security before, during, and after the Christmas celebration to safeguard lives and property. Adamawa, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
From Bauchi to Adamawa, where the state government has announced plans to demolish structures illegally built on waterways, a practice blamed for worsening flash floods across the state. Governor Ahmadu Fintiri disclosed this while flagging off the distribution of more than 1 billion naira in flood intervention funds to victims of the 2025 flood disaster in Yola South local government area. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo now reports.
At least 5,357 households in Yola South local government area have been identified as victims of devastating flash floods that occurred during this year's rainy season. The floods claimed lives, destroyed homes, displaced families, prompting swift intervention from the Adamawa state government. To cushion the impact of the disaster, the state government approved and commenced the distribution of a comprehensive financial support package to affected households. Under the intervention, mildly affected victims will receive 135,000, moderately affected victims 280,000, while severely affected households will get 550,000 each.
Kuma muna fata abinda muka bayar ba zai isa biyan asara da ka samu ba. Amma dai Allah ya sani mu yi kokari mun rage muku wannan asara.
While flagging off the distribution and symbolically presenting dummy checks to beneficiaries, Governor Lamurde reaffirmed his administration's commitment to preventing future flooding through proactive and sustainable measures. He also raised concern over the persistent construction of buildings and waterways, warning residents to desist or face decisive government action.
We have carried out verification. We have discovered that cause of the flood was people building houses and filling stations on waterways. And we've seen it, we have marked it. I did not do it at that time because I felt it was the wrong time during the rainy season. Now that we have crossed the rainy season and we have paid compensation for our masses that are affected to go and restart their life, I think it is now time to go against the bourgeois.
Beneficiaries of the interventions have described the support as timely, saying it will go a long way in helping them recover and rebuild their lives.
Much grateful. I can't really express my excitement for receiving this support from the governor. I'm so grateful.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation, Reintegration and Humanitarian Services, Barrister Bello Amanderam, has commended the governor for what he described as a prompt, people-centered response to the disaster. The state government insists that beyond emergency relief, enforcing environmental regulations and clearing waterways remains critical to preventing a reoccurrence of such disaster. Gibson Soadgo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Addressing climate change challenges could help reduce long-standing conflicts, particularly the persistent clashes between farmers and herders across the country. Experts say environmental pressures are increasingly fueling insecurity and social tensions in many communities. In this special report, Bello Musa of Trust TV examines the link between climate change, conflict, and the urgent need for inclusive peace building.
Experts believe that environmental degradation, pollution, and shrinking natural resources are major drivers of conflicts across several communities, especially in northern Nigeria. Discussions have focused on the social consequences of climate change, including competition over land and water resources, which often escalate into violent clashes between farmers and herders.
For example, the farmer-herder crisis that we are having in Benue and other places in northwest and north-central Nigeria is as a result of the herders moving their cattle and their animals from a place whereby there is drought and there is lack of water and grasses to places whereby there are greener pastures. In that movement, that's where we have problems whereby the cattle might trample on the farms of farmers, and then a conflict ensues.
Unpredictable rainfalls, all of these things fuels peace and conflict related issues. How do they do that? Initially, you know that Fulani herdsmen actually move from one place to another looking for greener pastures. That was when we have rainfalls that is enough to make those greener pastures come out well. But now we have unpredictable rain patterns.
Climate change is no longer just an environmental issue. It has become a key factor affecting peace, security, and social stability. From farmer-herder conflict to migration and the spread of extremism, changing climate patterns continue to create new challenges, particularly for vulnerable groups.
So if we have people spreading fake narratives online, and then we have other people coming out to call them out and say the truth, I think based on online fake news spreading, that will solve the issue.
The disadvantage of fake news is it makes people scared. It makes people see, because these things are not true and people get to believe them. and then before you know, fear comes into them, and then it affects them a lot.
The experts say the conflict linked to climate change, especially farmer-herder clashes, can be addressed through strategic, inclusive and sustainable solutions.
We call for people to be very conscious of their environment, because we are a product of our environment, and our environment is a product of us. So once we have a healthy environment, the tendency of tensions and conflicts is reduced. And that is why we call on people to plant trees a lot, because these trees you see is a very strong shocker to environmental shocks.
Government has to wade into the issue, in the sense that government has to provide enough enabling environment for all these people that we've mentioned, all these people that are involved, to give them an enabling ground. If you're a farmer, you are given enough land, you're given enough support to do your farming without infringing on the rights of anyone. If you're a herder, you are given a place to ranch your cattle so you don't have to move around them.
Solving problems like these, first and foremost, I always go for dialogue first and foremost, but it will not really solve it practically. Practically, there are several measures, scientific measures used to tackle climate change, such as planting of trees.
They emphasize that climate change affects every aspect of society, making it essential to understand its connection to peace and security in order to build a more peaceful and sustainable future. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In business news, the federal government recorded a fiscal deficit of 2.66 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2025, according to the Budget Office of the Federation. Revenue for the period stood at 5.97 trillion naira, while expenditure hit 8.63 trillion naira, with the deficit financed through domestic borrowing. Oil production averaged 1.68 million barrels per day, below the budget benchmark, affecting revenue, while non-oil revenue exceeded projections due to improved taxes. Debt service cost the government 4.44 trillion naira, above projections, and cash management delays continued to slow project execution. Despite fiscal pressures, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, said capital investment remained a priority, with real GDP growth at 4.23%, driven by services and non-oil sectors. The report urged revenue mobilization expenditure, reprioritization, and better cash management to ensure fiscal sustainability. Away from Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau's ruling military junta has released 6 political opposition figures who had been detained following last month's coup. The 6 are reportedly close associates of Domingos Simons Pereira, head of the PAIGC party, who remained in custody. The high military command described the release as a gesture of good faith and a step towards restoring constitutional normality and respecting international rights. The military seized power on the 26th of November after ousting outgoing President Umaru Sissoco Embalo, suspended the electoral process, and announced it will govern for 1 year. Meanwhile, Senegal's foreign minister, Cheikh Niang, has visited the Guinea-Bissau to meet with detained opponents and request their release. Stand out to join Kabir Lawal, who has the sports update.
Algeria picked up 3-2 win over Sudan on AFCON Match 4 day, extending their strong run against the North Africans. Riyad Mahrez opened the scoring goal early, finding the net in the second minute. He doubled Algeria's lead in the 61st minute of the game. Sudan fought back, but Algeria sealed the win late on. Maza struck from outside the 18 box in the 85th minute to make it 3-2. This was the first AFCON meeting between the two sides through their 9th clash overall. Algeria remained unbeaten in open play against Sudan with 4 wins and 4 draws. The teams had met twice early this year. In August, Sudan edged Algeria penalties after 1-1 draw at the African Nations Championship in December. Both sides played out a goalless draw at the FIFA Arab Cup in Qatar. Algeria had earlier beaten Sudan 4-0 at the 2020 FIFA Arab Cup, a tournament they went on to win. Elsewhere, Burkina Faso came from behind to beat Equatorial Guinea 2-1. Mengu scored in the 95th minute before Tapso grabbed the winner. In the 98th minute, earning Burkina Faso 3 points in the group. That's Sport News. I am Kabir Lawal.
And that concludes News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Good night.